What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and today we're getting into my time so far with the Galaxy S20 Ultra. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you're new around here if you want to see more videos like this in the future. But, well, let's get started. So using this phone so far has definitely been a treat for me. I mean, there's a lot of things in here that make this a worthy upgrade if you're coming from the Galaxy S10 Plus or an S9 or anything like that. I mean, this phone essentially packs in basically everything that Samsung could possibly put in a smartphone just because. It's kind of a flex phone, right? Like, it's $1,400. It's not cheap by any means. And to be honest, it's hard to recommend because of the price, but there's just so much goodness packed in here that it definitely leaves me drooling a little bit. So as far as the design goes, I mean, it's kind of plain Jane. I mean, for the Ultra anyways, we have this cosmic gray and we have cosmic black and gray, kind of boring colors. It's an all glass phone. Obviously, we have a metal frame here, glass backing, huge camera module, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But overall, I mean, the design here, it kind of follows suit in terms of the Samsung design language. Now, to say this phone is snappy is kind of an understatement. I mean, the performance here is definitely a non-issue, at least in my time with it so far. The 120 hertz display on this thing looks absolutely amazing, and it's gonna make it really hard to go to anything less than that just because of how awesome it is. Now, we have a 6.9-inch display here with a Quad HD Plus resolution of 1440 by 3200. Now, when you have it running at 120 hertz though, you're actually not getting that resolution. It does bump you down to the Full HD Plus resolution of 2400 by 1080, but either way, I mean, the display is tack sharp, the colors are nice, it's a Super AMOLED panel. I literally have never had complaints about a Samsung display. Obviously, being a glass designed phone like it is, it's gonna be a little bit slippery, and the fact that it's so big, using it with one hand is definitely a task, at least for me with my little small sausage fingers. It is definitely like not the easiest phone to just one hand all day long. And I definitely recommend putting a case on it or something if you're gonna get this because it's an expensive phone. And well, I made a video on some of the best cases and accessories for the S20 series. You can check that out using the link below, but I definitely recommend rocking a case on this one specifically. Another cool thing here is the RAM management. So you can actually keep 3 apps open in the background on the 12GB RAM model, and they will not close or anything due to memory restrictions. And on the 16GB model, you can actually keep up to 5 apps open. I think it's a pretty handy feature here. As far as the specifications go here, we have the Snapdragon 865 processor. In my specific model here, we have 12GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. And I mean, anything over 100GB for me in terms of storage is plenty for what I do, storing pictures and video, mostly some music, and downloading a few movies here and there. I gotta cut to the chase with this whole thing. Let's just talk about the camera because that is definitely by far one of the most impressive aspects of this phone. So around the backside here, there's a lot going on. This is a pretty big camera module if you ask me, but we do have a 108 megapixel sensor here. Yes, 108 megapixels with an aperture of f1.8. That is just absolutely bonkers. Like, seriously, some of the photos this 108 megapixel camera spits out are simply amazing. I will leave a full gallery linked below in case you want to check out the full 108 megapixel resolution. I can't believe I'm saying that about a phone, but if you want to check out the full resolution photos, I will link a gallery below. So we do have a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens, which is definitely nice. And then we have a 48 megapixel sensor in here at the bottom, which has a 10 times optical zoom lens on it. Yes, 10 times zoom. It's absolutely ridiculous how much they've packed in here. And then of course we have I think it's a 0.3 megapixel time of flight sensor, which is just for depth information. But being able to start from an ultra wide angle lens and then going all the way to a 100 times digital and optical hybrid zoom is kind of mind-blowing. All right, I'm on the roof right now, and this is in the wide angle view on the S20 Ultra. And here we can go to the 1x, 2x, 4x, 10x, 30x, and then 100x. I can see the damn Chase Field logo on the stadium. That's way over there. So we can start out at the ultra wide angle lens, then we can go to the 1 times zoom, which is a standard lens. Then we can go to the 2 times zoom, then 4 times zoom, then 10 times zoom, then 30 times zoom, and let me stop that for a second there. The 30 times zoom is actually probably the peak of usable photos on here. Depending on the lighting, it's kind of dodgy, so you might get some photos that are good. Anything under 30, especially the 10 times optical zoom, is definitely golden. But anyway, so we are at 30 times zoom, and then we can go all the way up to 100 times zoom. And I mean, okay, let's be real here, right? It's really cool to have a 100 times zoom, even though it's a hybrid between optical and digital on a smartphone. But a lot of the photos that I've seen and that I've taken that it spits out are kind of like oil paintings. Like they're just, you can kind of see what it is, which is cool. You can see what you're looking at, but in terms of clarity and detail, it's just not 100% there. So because of that, I feel like the 100 times zoom here is kind of more of a flex feature, just a party trick, you know, something to start conversation about. And I'm not complaining at all because I think it's absolutely crazy that it's on there. But the photos that it spits out are so anywhere between 10 and maybe 20, 25 times zoom on this camera, definitely usable. But having just 10 times optical zoom in here is pretty amazing. The fact that it's like a periscope, the sensor's actually over here on the side, and then we have a periscope that brings in light and shoots it over. It's just, the innovation here is just something to talk about all around. Now let's talk about video for a second. So the video on here, the rear camera is capable of shooting up to 8K resolution. Yes, 8K. I did a video demo on it. If you want to check that, the link is down below in the description. It's absolutely crazy, in my opinion, to be able to shoot 8K video from a smartphone. Like, what? Regardless of anything else, is pretty cool, and I was personally impressed by the quality of the 8K video. Of course, we do have 4K video out of the rear camera as well, which definitely looks good in my opinion, and we have 4K video out of the front camera, which is a 40 megapixel sensor. So if you want to take some high resolution selfies, Samsung's got you covered. All right, and a quick little front facing camera demo. Video quality on this phone it's pretty amazing. Now, having such a big, beautiful 6.9-inch display, this is definitely a media consumption machine. Like, it has stereo speakers, we have a big display, it looks really good, and I mean, with all of these things considered, like everything that they've packed into this phone, the battery life is on point too. So we got a massive 5,000 milliamp hour battery inside of the S20 Ultra, and that is giant. And I've only been using this for a short amount of time, but in that time, I have had zero complaints out of the battery life. I've actually been like unable to just kill the phone completely just in my regular use with it. Preliminary results, I mean, I could get to like 6 hours of screen on time and still have like 35 to 45% battery life left, which, I mean, that's it's just crazy. I've seen other people report online that they've gotten up to 9 hours of screen on time using this thing. This is a battery monster, and that is to say the least about this. I've been super happy with the software performance and overall hardware in general with this. Maybe some people might get a little offended by this, but this is definitely the best that you can get in terms of an Android phone right now. I also got to experience 5G for the first time with the S20 Ultra, and well, at first I had T-Mobile's sub-6 5G network running inside of this, and it was very bad to say the least. It's just relabeled LTE, at least around here. There's nothing crazy happening with it. The speeds are not good, but I got a Verizon SIM card and was able to test out some ultra wideband 5G, and let me tell you, that is ridiculous. Like, I can't believe that I had download speeds coming out of this that were faster than any land internet connection that I've ever personally had. It's just, I mean, the speed factor in Verizon's ultra wideband 5G out here in Phoenix anyways is just bonkers. Downtown Phoenix right now, got my flip with me, but just got a chance to check out the ultra wideband 5G from Verizon, and it's just absolutely stupid. This is the rear camera, the wide angle lens, in case you're curious, but the speeds is ridiculous. So if I were to point out any negative takeaways from the S20 Ultra here, this is a stupid expensive phone. I mean, it's very, very pricey, and you do get 100 times zoom here, but to be honest, I think that you're only gonna use it a handful of times and then be done with it, and just using the standard 10 times optical zoom in here, which is still really, really impressive and really, really good, but I think that it's kind of just you know, the photos that it spits out aren't the greatest in my opinion. I am kind of disappointed that for a $1,400 device, you don't get the 45-watt super fast charger inside of the box. That just seems kind of silly to me. You get a 25-watt fast charger, which is good, but for the money they're paying, I think that it's kind of a slap in the face to have to spend another $50 on the super fast charger on this. So I've had a pretty enjoyable experience overall. There are a couple of little nitpick things, but I'm gonna kind of keep using this and hang on to it for the full review. So definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already so you can catch that video when it drops. Hit the notification bell, leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think about the Samsung Galaxy S20 series or the Ultra specifically in the comments section below. I really appreciate all the support, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. This is Dom, and I will catch you in the next video.